Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. I was actually not supposed to record today, but I couldn't resist. You know, guys, that I like the red days almost as I actually like it potentially a little bit more than the green ones. But because that means that I'm just a lunatic, and I felt compelled to come and do a little video for you guys and try to also bring some calm into the craziness that's going around. Um, by the way, yesterday I did speak a little bit, actually a lot about Kamala and about Trump, and it seems that I didn't get shadow banned. So can it be that a certain company may be entertaining the idea of a Trump presidency, and they don't want to be caught in potential investigations around, if there's suppression of campaigns and stuff like that? Who knows? Right? I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just throwing that question to the air. So he's close to 64% on Polymarket. I think if you look at early voting, is very strong for him. Usually Republicans do quite poorly in early voting and mail-in voting, and he's actually doing quite well. And every time there's a new poll coming out, either liberal or conservative, seems that his likelihood of winning the swing states is increasing. Is that the case? It's not the case. I mean, it's anybody's guess. Historically speaking, he tends to perform better on election day, substantially better than the polls give credit for. Will we see that repeated? We need to wait 13 days. In any case, I was actually today, I attended Crypto 7 live stream. I do encourage people to go and watch his stream. I'm not saying that you should do everything that he says. What I'm saying is you should go there, watch his content, see if it's for you, see if it's not for you, up to you to decide. I usually try to tune in. And today, actually, when I jumped in, I think Bitcoin was around 66.8 thousand. And I wrote in the chat that we should be going at least to 65,600, which was the the EMA 20 on the daily chart for Bitcoin, which we have now done. And there's a number below that I wouldn't be surprised if we touch it one last time before we go up, which is $63,200. Now, for you to have an idea how much PTSD there is in this cycle, about a week ago, everybody or 10 days ago, everybody was pissed that Bitcoin went below 60,000. And the idea was, if we go above 62, 63, that's it. We are good for the races. So basically 62 was the very bullish number. So we went to 69. And now we are at 65,500. And everybody's extremely bearish. But 65,500 is quite a bit higher than 62,000, which 10 days ago everybody was dreaming of going to. So this is what I mean, is 1 week, so it's a bit like this. If we go above 70,000, that's going to be very bullish, right? So this is the narrative. If we go above 70,000, it's going to be very bullish. I can bet you that if we retrace back to 72,000, for example, so when we actually go above 70,000, and maybe we go to 76, 77, and then if we pull back to 72, I bet you people will be complaining and be having a very bearish sentiment with Bitcoin at 72,000. By the way, betting, I'm not actually making any kind of bet. I'm just, it's a figure of speech. But you need to be very careful nowadays. People, if they start betting stuff on the chat, I mean, who knows what can happen. It's a figure of speech, okay? I can tell you, or I'm very convinced, that if we go from 76 to 72, people will complain and will be very bearish at 72. So, even 3 weeks ago, so the objective was to go above 60. If we went above 60, that was very bullish. Then it was above 63. Then if we go to 60, that's bearish. But then if we go to 63, now that is bearish. Right? This is what is called climbing the wall of worry. Now, I'm not a trend line guy. I don't like trend lines. The reason is very simple. If you want, you can draw 500 trend lines in the chart. I'm exaggerating. You cannot draw 500, but you can draw easily 10, 12. So which one you pick? Up to you, right? So that's why I like things like simple moving averages, EMA 20. I like, bullish or bearish momentum. That to me, it's easier. And to be honest, I think you guys can agree that I've been very spot on over the year about this. I think that we can either stop here, 65,500, it's fine, or we can go to worst case that I see, it's 63,200. Worst is around 62,000. I don't think 62,000 is in the cards, but we can go to 63,200 at the lowest. And we can also stop here. That's also a possibility. Now, one thing that I've been saying here over and over and over again, and I'm going to say another time, and most people will disconnect from right about now, bond market, bond market, bond market, bond market. TLT, TLT, TLT. What do I say? Can markets go up with TLT aggressively go down? Sure, for a little while, but if bonds keep on going down, and every market will sell off. Stocks, gold, oil, crypto, it doesn't matter. The bond market is the big daddy. The bond market is to the risk markets what Bitcoin is for crypto. There's no way that Bitcoin is going to be at 20,000 and altcoins are going to be going up 1,000-fold. No way. Same thing with the bond market. There's no way that stocks and risk assets and gold and so on will be flying high with the bond market coming down. Now, a good thing is that if I look at my chart, 425 in the yield seems to be the upper side of the move, meaning we may be close to the end of this move in the bond market. 93.70 on TLT was the first level. Second level is 91.50. Now this one, 91.40, 91.50, don't quote me on the exact number. That is a number that we need to pay a lot of attention to. Can we wick a little bit, like doing like this, a little bit below? We can, but we shouldn't be closing below it. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. Now, nobody's paying attention, but Canada just cut rates again. I expect the US to cut rates, at least 25 basis points, and 25 basis points, and 25 basis points. And then one of these days, the inflation report will come much better than expected. Not much better, but clearly going into the below 2% level, in which I think people will start pricing in better times ahead. Liquidity keeps on rising. Crypto fundamentals keep on improving across the board. However, and by the way, the FTX creditors will start to receive their money in USD at the end of October, so 31st of October, and then they will be receiving it into December, and then up to the first quarter of 2025, it's going to be $16 billion to be distributed. Now, a lot of analysts are saying, oh, they don't plan to put it back into crypto. Yeah? What if Bitcoin is at 85,000? Do you think they're going to be planning to put Bitcoin into crypto? I think so. Right? I think so. It depends. Right now, probably not. But, if it's at 85K, starting to rip, I can see half of it going into crypto. And then eventually the other half following, right? So 31st of October also, you have the SEC case against Richard Hart. So it's going to be interesting to know what's going to come from it. Obviously, 5th of November, we all know what's going to happen. And there's something that I would like to say, because you may have been hearing throughout this entire bull market about the altcoin season. So we did have a mini season in which you have cycle one narratives, like a lot of meme coins, for example, and the AI coins and so on, doing very, very well. And then you have the bigger altcoin season later. Now, can we have an altcoin season followed by a correction, followed by another altcoin season? Very possible. But if this happens, probably. So let's ignore the first. Let's be clear on this so we don't get lost. Okay. So we had kind of a mini season which is were mostly AI coins and meme coins. If you look at the chart, meme coins on average have been the only thing to outperform Bitcoin this year. Okay, got it. But what is going to be like a proper altcoin season? We can have one of two things. Either we have a massive altcoin season, or we have a little bit like 2021, massive altcoin season, followed by a steep correction, followed by another altcoin season at the end. But the second one, a lot of coins didn't make new all-time highs. They got very close, don't get me wrong, very, very, very close, but they didn't make it. Okay? Can we have that this cycle? Absolutely. Can we have a super max altcoin season and that's it? Yes, both of them are possible. It's difficult to say which is going to be which, but it can happen. Both of them can happen. Now, you may have noticed here in the channel, although all the other channels have been talking about altcoin season, altcoin season, altcoin season, altcoin season, you may have noticed that I have not spoken much about it. The reason is altcoin season comes typically 230 days after the halving. 235, 238, depends a little bit on the cycle, but it's around, let's call it 230 days. That would put us around mid-December for the altcoin season to start. Now, does that mean that altcoins are going to go from, up 1% to up 500% on the 15th of December at midnight? No. It means that it should be very obvious that the majority of altcoins season will start. Now, you can tell me, but I've been in coins that went up 80-fold, right? Didn't you say, for example, Andy and Oppie, right, that you guys know that I have for a long time, they've both done 100x each. So but what I'm saying is not specific subsegments going up a lot. I'm not talking about the Matt Fury narrative doing very, very well. I'm talking about all the altcoins doing very well. Meaning, it's going to be hard to find something that doesn't go up. That's what I'm talking about. Which at the moment, a lot of things didn't go up. And even if they did go up, I mean, people were going crazy because, Sui did the 5x or whatever. Or, I'm not talking about 5x. I'm talking about, 10 times that, 20 times that. We haven't seen it yet. For certain meme coins, yes, but the majority of coins, no. So, if we repeat the previous cycles, altcoin season will start somewhere around mid-December. Now, the reason, as I've just said, that I've been refraining from talking about altcoin season like other channels is they keep feeding you altcoin season in a month, altcoin season in March, altcoin season in July, altcoin season in August, altcoin season in September. So every month they push it a month forward, right? So no, just look at the previous cycles. It tends to be 230 days. Now this cycle has been fairly equal to the previous ones. There's a little bit of, I agree, there's a bit of differences here and there, but the core, the timelines are pretty much not that different. So I am looking mostly for mid-December for the altcoins really to have a so-called proper altcoin season. Now, will it last until March, which is about March, April 2025, which is the 12 months after the halving? I've told you, a large number of coins peak 12 months after the Bitcoin halving. Can it be that then we have a big correction into the summer and then we have one last push into Q3 2025? Potentially, that's a possibility. But my plan is probably around March to start de-risking some of my positions, depending obviously on the market is and depending who gets elected, depending if Trump is going to buy Bitcoin blindly, right? Depends on a few things. But all in all, is something that is already brewing in my mind. And I do expect to see altcoin season to begin in the second half of December. Now, this has been the front-running cycle, as you guys know. Can it be the case that we start 2 weeks ahead of schedule? So that would put us beginning of December. Possibly. That's very possible. In theory, the cycle would put us at second half of December. But if you think about it, we've been front-running a lot of things. We front-run the Bitcoin halving pump. We front-run the Bitcoin halving sell-off. We front-run the kind of a bit the meme coin season. And so there's a few things, and we even front-run a little bit the bottom of the bear market. So we've been doing like this 2-week front-running, if you will. So I wouldn't be surprised if we would see the altcoin season starting in the beginning of December. And what did I predict here in August during the Japanese debacle? Bitcoin to be above 80K by the end of November 2024. So that would all map out with the timelines quite well. Will I be right? I don't know. Will I be wrong? Maybe. If I'm wrong, feel free to destroy me in the comment section. If I'm right, feel free to give me that like and subscribe, because you guys know it's the only thing that I ask. And with that, thank you very much for your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.